Right, so here we are in lovely Milford on Sea on the south coast of England. Very pretty little village and fairly unspoilt by the usual tourism of bucket spades, lollipop stands, ice cream stands, etc. Apart from a few more modern signs, and no doubt a Lidl's or Aldi, it's probably not changed a lot since the last 100 years. Certainly many of the houses haven't changed a lot. If you're going down to fish Milford Shingle Bank, or Hurst Castle as they call it, this is the route. As you come out of Milford, you're driving along here and you're looking for a road called New Lane. You recognise it because in the hedge there's a sign that says road liable to flooding. I've never actually seen it flooded other than right down at the bottom by turning onto the shingle bank, but here we have it off to the right here. Word of warning about this route: it is in fact a single track road. There are plenty, but do not pull over onto either the verges to allow oncoming vehicles to pass you. They look like a nice grass verge. There is actually a ditch only a very short distance in. As a fishing club, we have on numerous times brought this to the attention of the local highways department that it needs some signposts, some warnings before there's an accident, but obviously the council don't care, and many occasions I've come down here and seen a car tipped on its side into the ditch. When you get down here, there's usually plenty of parking spaces alongside the road. Becomes quite a haunt for the camper van brigade in the summer. On the basis it's quiet, it's away from its all, it's free, nobody's going to bother you. And what a nice spot to wake up to in the morning if you're in a camper van. Literally most of them park just round the corner here. As you can see, what a superb place that would be to wake up to in the morning. Got views of Hurst Castle, which is pretty well centre of the picture now. You move down to the lighthouse there at Keyhaven, the moors at Keyhaven, and a flock of seabirds on the inland waterway part here. The shingle bank was basically mostly man-made construction to protect the harbour and inlet at Keyhaven and so forth, and to provide for Hurst Castle, which sits as a fort protecting access to the Solent and hence Southampton Water and the port of Southampton. This is actually the backwater. We have the shingle bank there with the sea the other side, and then Hurst Castle down there, pointy bit, comes in, and you get the backwater which comes in and runs considerable distance up in that direction. Hence the venue often referred to by the local anglers as Cut Bridge. This being the bridge in question, which cuts across the backwater to save a huge walk from, I think, almost high cliff to avoid getting across or wading through. Popular spot for kids crabbing in the summer. This is the end of January, so a rather crisp and sunny winter's day. Change from the wind and rain we've had over the last few weeks. The sun being quite low in the sky does make a little bit of an issue for photography, as you're getting sun glares and the camera trying to cope with the changes of light. Driving along the top of the shingle bank is of course strictly forbidden. It's only allowed for the staff working at Hurst Castle and people maintaining and looking after the shingle bank itself.
Down this way, Dad.
One of the things about fishing this venue is if it's a very windy day, it's either blowing off the sea or off the land. So it's blowing off the land, you get down on the beach, you're fairly sheltered by the bank behind you. If the wind's blowing in from the sea, you could always fish the backwater here. I've had some reasonable bass, eels and such out of here. Although I do recommend walking down to where you see the boats moored rather than fishing this area just in here. And if fishing at night, do be careful that you actually cast into the water and that your rig and bait's not sat on a dried out patch of mud somewhere. do. You've been all the way to the castle?
Yes.
Oh, fitter than I am. It is quite a lot further down to the castle than it actually looks. It is quite a good stroll. Generally found that fishing this venue, the further you walk along the bank towards the castle, generally at least until we turn the corner down here, the better the fishing seems to be. You seem to get a tide line that spins off from the corner, which just creates the right conditions. The general trick is that as the tide picks up, the tide line moves further and further and further out towards the island, and you want to fish just on the edge of that tide line. I remember many years ago fishing here, and just for fun I took a light rod and stuff in my shoulder bag rather than the usual rods, reels, rucksacks, bags, tripods, a lot, and decided I was going to work my way along the backwater here, stopping and fishing every few yards. So I worked my way all the way along here. Generally a slightly lower tide, you've got a bit more path at the bottom here than you see today. Stopping every few yards, casting, stop and drink coffee, get right down to the back here, scrambled at the bank, crossed over and worked my way back along the short side of the bank. The only fish I caught was a pout whiting right back down by the rocks down there where I started off. Still, it was a nice walk. I could have been sat on my behind up there by the rocks for 3 hours and caught the pout whiting. And as with most fishing competitions at local level, it's not whether you win or lose, it's who you beat on the night. One of my great rivals actually blanked, so my 2-ounce pout whiting beat him. Well, he came last and I came next to last. There you have it.